Hello everyone, welcome back to PYQ series discussion on ancient medieval and art and culture. My name is Shreyas. So in this video we will be discussing the PYQ questions of the year 2022. So 2022 there is a mixed set of questions. There are easy questions, there are bouncer questions and there are questions which we could have solved through awareness. So without wasting any time, let us begin the discussion. Look at the first question. King is to dynasty. If you remember, I had told you in the year 2020 PYQ discussion, I said to remember who is the founder of Gurjara Pratyahara. The founder of Gurjara Pratyahara is Nagabhatta 1. Nagabhatta 1 ne founder of Gurjara Pratyahara andre Nagabhatta 2, obviously he will belong to Gurjara Pratyahara. That means 3 is correct. C. 1 hint siktu from the PYQs. That is why we need to do PYQs. Look at the other options. Boja. Rashtrakutal yarar important kings annad nimage gottirbeku. Boja is not one of them because Boja is also of Gurjara Pratyahara. Rashtrakutal baradu. Names you should know. Founder is Danti Durga. Amoga Varsha. So these are the sort of names that comes under Rashtrakuta. Look at these options. Nannuka, he belongs to Chandela dynasty. Yes. What about Jaishakti? Jaishakti also belongs to Chandela dynasty. So the answer to this question is only 2. Rashtrakuta dynasty, Gurjara Pratyahara, to an extent we come across because these are big dynasties. But Chandela Paramaras ಅಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಬಂದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Look at this relation. Gurjara Pratyahara themselves broke up and formed Paramaras and Chandela. Paramaras and Chandela kuda there is Paramaras and Chandela also there is reference in the PYQ. So PYQ of 2020-2021 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪರಮರ ಚಂಡೇಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ then you should make your static notes of who is the founder, in which region were they found and who are the important personality associated with it. ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ homework from last 2 years ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸುಲಭ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. Look at the static part related to it. Gurjara Pratyahara founded by Nagabhatta 1, that is why Nagabhatta 2 also comes under him. So does King Boja. Also Mahendrapala also comes under Gurjara Pratyahara. Danti Durga is the founder of Rashtrakuta dynasty. So Krishna 1, Dhruva 1, Amoga Varsha comes under Rashtrakuta dynasty. Nannuka belongs to Chandela dynasty and so is Jaishakti. ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. We'll see the next question. In previous classes also I have said that there are certain themes from which UPSC will give the terms and make theme as the answer. One is coins, one is sports. Look at this. In medieval India, the term phanam was referred to clothing, coins, ornaments, weapons. The answer is coins. See, UPSC does not expect you to remember the way of clothing or the way or the terms of clothing at least. So the answer to this is coins. Theme yaad important and gottidru, you could have blindly marked as coins and this is the answer. Actually in medieval time it was in South India that this term phanam was been used. So along with that, what is important for us, adar jotege innu yaya terms use madidru important terms we should try to remember. So dokdo, Faruqi, Karshpara, Naya Paisa, Paisa andre ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, Pagoda, Panam, Rupiya, Suvarna, Tanga, Tanka, all these were terms used for coins. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ term ನ UPSC could pick and ask in subsequent years. That is why I thought I'll talk about it. So look at the next question, which with reference to Indian history, which of the following were known as Kulla Darhan? Arab merchants, Qalandars, calligraphists and Saids. This was a bouncer which was meant to be left had we not known anything. Kulla Darhan ಯಾರಿಗೆ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು, but in the exam hall most of us did not know about it. So this was a bouncer which was better meant to be left. Now that this has been asked, we'll study what this is. Kulla Darha was referring to Saids because Saids used to wear a pointed hat. Saids put on a pointed hat and these pointed hats were called kulla and Dara because they put it. So Abbasids yaru, Sayyids yaru, one basic idea irbeku. Sayyids, they claim to be descent from the Prophet through the daughter Fatima. So the Prophet Muhammad had a daughter called Fatima, and Sayyids were descendants of Fatima. So they enjoyed good amount of respect, and even Taimur swore to protect them and not invade them. So ishtu namige gottirbeku. We'll move to the next question. Again, if you had solved PYQs, then you would be able to answer this also. Let us see how. The first Mongol invasion of India happened during the reign of Jalaluddin Khalji. First Mongol invasion agid yavaga? Genghis Khan bandaga. Last PYQ 2021 PYQ will have said that the first Mongol invasion happened when there was Iltutmish and not during any other person. So one is wrong. So ನೋಡಿ PYQs ನ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ at least next year ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 50-50 ಅಂತ ನೀವು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಈಗ 2 ಮತ್ತೆ 3 ಮಧ್ಯ ಒಂದನ್ನು ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ವಿಚ್. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ರೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಲಾವುದ್ದೀನ್ ಖಲ್ಜಿ, one Mongol assault marched up to Delhi and besieged the city. Muhammad bin Tughlaq temporarily lost portions of northwest India of its kingdom to Mongolia. So ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ we'll need to know little bit of Mongol invention knowledge. Most of the Mongol inventions, it happened more when Alauddin Khilji was in power and less when Tughlaq was in power, and they did siege the city of Delhi, and Alauddin was kept under rest. So when it came to Muhammad bin Tughlaq, it is believed, it is a rumor rather, that he bribed the Mongols to return back, and that is why he did not lose the portions of northwest of the kingdom. This is what has been said. So the answer to this question is B. So basic ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, Mongol invasion first ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಯಿತು? ಇಲ್ತುಮಿಶ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಲಾವುದ್ದೀನ್ ಖಿಲ್ಜಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ Mongols they came and besieged the city of Delhi. ಇಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು for the next year prelims or this year prelims. Ashoka's major rock edicts. Ashoka's major rock edicts, Ashoka's rock edicts ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 14 ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ 10 states. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, ಸೊ ಸಬ್ಸಿಕ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕುಡ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್. Eraguda is in Andhra Pradesh. Jogada is in Odisha. Dhauli is in Odisha. Kalsi is in Uttarakhand. Answer to this is only 2. See, only one, only 2, only repair bandaginda. Even if people did not know which the answer is, if they had chosen only 2, then they would have got correct. This is not just, but that is how it is in recent years. So try to remember these places. See, 14 major rock edicts. ಕಂಡಹರ್, ಶಾಬಸ್ಗಿ, ಮನ್ಸೇರಾ, ಈ 3 ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಸಾಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್. ಅದು ರಾಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಕಾಲ್ಸಿ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಉತ್ತರಾಖಂಡ್. ಗಿರ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಜರಾತ್. ಸೋಪಾರಾ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ. ಧೌಲಿ, ಜೋಗಡ, ಒಡಿಸ್ಸಾ. ಎರಗುಡ್ಡ ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಸನ್ನತಿ ಅಂತೂ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ನೋ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. ಇಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೋಪಾರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸನ್ನಿತಿ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಡಿ. ಸೋಪಾರ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ಸನ್ನಿತಿ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. Which one of the following statements about Sangam literature? Sangam age 300 BC to 300 AD. So ancient South India. So which of the following statements are correct with respect to Sangam literature? Sangam poems are devoid of any reference to material culture. They are devoid of this. Social classification of Varna was known to Sangam poets. Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethic, and Sangam literature refers to magical forces as irrational. Suppose you are someone who did not study any of this related to Sangam. Still, how is that you could have answered? Look at these statements. 3 statements are going in negative tone, and there's 1 statement which is in positive tone. Sangam poems are devoid of any reference to material culture. Madirtare. Why not? It is telling it is devoid. Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethic. Obviously, they would have made, because they wanted to bring a spirit of warrior ethic, not to give up, to fight always. So they would have done this. Sangam literature refers to magical forces as irrational. They would have mentioned as magical forces, but why irrational? Negative tone. Social classification of Varna was known to Sangam poets. This indeed is a reality. Why? Why? Because Sangam poets, they have mentioned about the classification in Tolpakyam as Arasar, Antanar, Vanigar, Vellalar. Vellalar was people who did agriculture, who are the bottom segments. Vanigar, like sort of business. Arasar were rich landlord sort of things. So this is how you could have arrived at the answer even without knowledge of anything. We'll look into the next statement. Yoga Vashishta was translated into Persian by Nizamuddin Panipati during the reign of which? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅವರೇ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. It has been translated by whom? Because we may not have heard of this person, but it was done during the reign of which? Now your intuition or your understanding of the basics becomes important. Most of the development of literary works, of artistic works happened under whom? Aurangzeb definitely did not support it. Humayun, he started, so there was very little work which happened under Humayun. See, how do you remember? The Mughals, Badshah, Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. So this is how you remember. So Babur, Humayun under work tumba kadme agitu. It was during Akbar, Jahangir and Shah Jahan that most of the works happened. And the best known among them is Akbar, because he himself had something called Ibadat Khana, where this translation used to take place. So even if you had a favorable view, or the view that Akbar used to support most of these things, Akbar under most of these developments agide, be it music, dance, literary works, paintings and so on. Idu gottidru kuda you could have easily answered it to be Akbar. Now Yoga Vashishta, has it been mentioned, it becomes important. Yoga Vashishta, so it recounts a discourse of the sage Vasishta to young prince Rama. So the dialogue between a sage called Vasishta and Rama, this is what has been given under Yoga Vashishta. And like I said, it is Maktab Khana of Akbar where this translation used to happen. Maktab Khana was referred to as translation bureau. Maktab Khana, sorry, not Ibadat Khana. Ibadat Khana was related to painting, I suppose. Let us look into the next question. World's second tallest statue in sitting pose of Ramanuja was inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India at Hyderabad recently. Which one of the following statements correctly represents the teachings of Ramanuja? So Bhakti Sufi chapter alli we would have come across Ramanuja personality. So look at the statements. Even if you did not know anything about Ramanuja, still you could have come to the answer. The best means of salvation is devotion. Makes sense, positive sentence. Vedas are eternal, self-existence and wholly authoritative. Vedas are eternal, self-existence. Most of the Bhakti saints, they did not support Vedas. So Ramanuja wouldn't support this thing. Logical arguments were essential means for the highest bliss. He did not speak about this. Salvation was to be achieved through meditation. Seems as a positive statement. But see which of those statements, whether A or D, which is more comprehensive and more meaningful. Best means of salvation, devotion has to be there. And this devotion, there are different means of showing the devotion. Prayers, meditations being the several means of it. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೋಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರಾಡರ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. UPSC will keep on doing this. ಎರಡು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. One will cover a partial picture and one will give a comprehensive picture. Choose the option which gives the comprehensive picture. In this option it's A. So a little basics about Ramanuja, why it was been asked, because 100th anniversary. So if you see, Prime Minister visited Hyderabad. So current contextual art and culture question na pick ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So recent years ಅಲ್ಲಿ art and cultural current affair ಏನು ಬಂದಿದೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. Because there is good chance that one question could appear from that. So Ramanuja statue is called the Statue of Equality. ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, because ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಸೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋ, ಈ ತರ ಕೇಳಿ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ನ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ is dedicated to Ramanuja. Ramanuja born in Tamil Nadu, And his doctrine is called Vishwadvaita, which believed in oneness, and that was been opposed by Madhavacharya. So that you will study in Bhakti. So these things are generic. He wanted compassion, humanity, equality, devotion to God, and so on. We'll look into the next question. Prime Minister recently inaugurated the new circuit house near Somnath temple. Again, Prime Minister recently did this. So this is the second question which has been picked from the current affairs. Nodi, current affairs topic na pick ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ static question na pick ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So Somnath temple is one of the Jyotirlingas. I think there are 12 Jyotirlingas. One of this is Somnath temple. Description of Somnath temple was given by Al-Biruni. See, if a description of a temple A is been given by a person B, when is that wrong? If the temple was constructed after the death of that person, then it becomes wrong. So Al-Biruni belonged to 11th, 12th century, Hatratra 12th century. Somnath temple, was it present at that point of time? Yes, it was. And Al-Biruni, under whom did he serve? So Al-Biruni served under Muhammad of Ghazni, and Muhammad of Ghazni looted Somnath temple. So Muhammad of Ghazni Somnath temple na loot madidre, there is high chance that Al-Biruni would have written about it. So 2 is correct. Timeline ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ you would have taken 2 to be correct. And I've already said you a trick that whenever there is phrase that it is one of the so and so, it tends to be correct. You can check it through PYQs. So 1 is correct, 2 is correct. A ಮತ್ತೆ D ಮಧ್ಯ 50-50 ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. What is the third statement? Pran Pratishtha of Somnath temple was done by President Radhakrishnan. It is actually wrong because it was done by Rajendra Prasad and not Radhakrishnan. Wrong fact kottidare illi. The answer is only 2. Also I said another trick that whenever there are 3 statements, it is generally seen that one statement correct ಇದೆ, one statement ತಪ್ಪು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಕೂಡ we could have taken this fact to be wrong, because obviously we wouldn't have studied that who came and inaugurated at that point of time. So like I said, in 1951 it was India's first president Rajendra Prasad who came to this temple. Like I said, there are 12 Jyotirlingas. So ide theme na pick ಮಾಡಿ, which of the following come under the Jyotirlingas in India ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು temples na options ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. See, UPSC has asked which of the following are sun temples in India ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು option ಕೊಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು, Omkareshwar and so on. So similarly it could also ask which of the following temples come under the 12 Jyotirlingas present in India ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ತರ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. So that is why basic idea. ಅಥವಾ ಇದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. ಸೋಮನಾಥ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಗುಜರಾತ್, ಸೋಮನಾಥ್ ಕೇದಾರ್ನಾಥ್ ಉತ್ತರಾಖಂಡ್, ಕಾಶಿ ಯುಪಿ, ರಾಮೇಶ್ವರಂ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡು, ಮಹಾಕಾಳೇಶ್ವರ್ ಓಂಕಾರೇಶ್ವರ್ ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರದೇಶ್, ಭೀಮಶಂಕರ್ ತ್ರಿಂಬಕೇಶ್ವರ್ ಗ್ರಿಶನೇಶ್ವರ್ ಇನ್ ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಇನ್ ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶ್, ವೈದ್ಯನಾಥ ಜಾರ್ಖಂಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಾಗೇಶ್ವರ್ ಗುಜರಾತ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಸೋಮನಾಥ್, ಕೇದಾರ್ನಾಥ್, ರಾಮೇಶ್ವರಂ, ಮಹಾಕಾಳೇಶ್ವರ್, ಓಂಕಾರೇಶ್ವರ್ 3 ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಾಗೇಶ್ವರ್, ವೈದ್ಯನಾಥ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗುಡ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕುಡ್ ಕಮ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಸೆಡ್, ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಆಫ್ ಗಜ್ನಿ he plundered the Somnath temple and a mention of that has been made by Al-Biruni, and it was Rajendra Prasad like we discussed earlier. So next question, pure memory based question, and it is very difficult also to answer this from memory. With reference to Indian history, consider the following text. Netta Pakarana. See, ಒಂದು ಬುದ್ಧಿಸಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೈನಿಸಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬುದ್ಧಿಸಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಇರೋದು ಜೈನಿಸಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಜೈನಿಸಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಡರ್ ಬುದ್ಧಿಸಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಕರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಇಂಟರ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ದೇ UPSC has been doing since the past 1 decade. This is the hint. So ನೆಟ್ಟಿ ಪಕರಣ, it is a Buddhist text. ಇದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. And ಅವಧಾನ ಶತಕ is also a Buddhist text. So 1 ಮತ್ತೆ 3 ನ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು based on the knowledge, and the answer was 2 and 4. There is nothing to be discussed here. This is pure memory. ಈ ವೈ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಆರಿದೇವ, ದಿಗ್ನಾಗ ಅಂಡ್ ನಾಥುಮುನಿ. ಆರಿದೇವ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಬುದ್ಧಿಸ್ಟ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಟರ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ದಿಗ್ನಾಗ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಬುದ್ಧಿಸ್ಟ್. Nathumuni, he belonged to Hinduism, that is Vaishnava school. So the answer is only 2. So Aryadeva promoted Mahayana Buddhism and he was a disciple of Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna also belongs to Buddhist school. Dignaga again Buddhist school. So Ranganatha Muni, also known as Sriman Nathumuni, he was a Vaishnava theologian. So this you would have heard, Nalariya Divya Prabandham. Similar thing was Tevaram. Nalariyam Divya Prabandham. This was written by 13 Alvars, led by Nathumuni. So Nathumuni idukoskara ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರಬೇಕು. And Tevaram was written by those belonging to Nayanars, mainly three members like Appa, Sambar, Sunda, something like that. Those terms in the start agate. So Tevaram was written by 3 members. Nalariya Divya Prabandham was written by 13 Alvars. Nayanars were Shaivites, Alvars were Vaishnavites. So ಆ 13 Alvars ಅಲ್ಲಿ Nathumuni was one of the person. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ವೆಲ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ along with that a couple of names to be remembered. Dharmakirti and Chandrakirti, these two also belong to the Buddhist school. ಇಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Another bouncer question, though we can arrive or eliminate 1 to 2 options based on logic. Let us see. Kautilya's Arthashastra, correct? Which of the following are correct with reference to Kautilya's Arthashastra? A person could be a slave as a result of judicial punishment. Makes sense. Maybe it's possible. If a female slave bore her master a son, she was legally free. One statement. If a son born to a female slave was fathered by her master, the son was entitled to the legal status of master's son. See, ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ if we go by logic, then we might think something different. Here they are asking what is that thing which Kautilya's Arthashastra said. So whatever analysis Kautilya did, that is what we need to accept here. So what is that analysis he made? Answer to this is all of the above is correct, because in Kautilya's Arthashastra, this is what he had said. He said that a man could be slave. He could be slave because of birth, because of voluntarily declaring, because of being captured in war, or because of the judicial punishment. And if a child that was born to a slave and the master, if a child born to the master and slave, if that happens, then both the mother and the child shall be free and they shall no longer be slaves. So that is why the slaves used to bore master a son. And also that the son once been born to the master was entitled to the legal status of the master's son. ಇದು ನಾನು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, that this is the view of Kautilya. Because now logic ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹೋದ್ರೆ we'll take this as correct, we'll take this also as correct, but this will think why would this happen, but this also happens. The answer is 3. There is no scope for logic. There is very less scope for logic, like I said, in ancient and medieval topics. So this was all about the 2022 discussion on ancient, medieval art and culture. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.